as I go. I truly don't believe it's going to take more than 15 minutes. The entire document in and of itself for the beneficial ownership information report is like a 5-minute do. There is an actual video at FinCEN's website. I will share that video with you, but I'm going to actually show you the preliminary items that need to happen in advance of you completing the BOI document. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And uh, can you guys see the state of Michigan? Is that showing up okay? Nope. Yes. Okay, great. First things first, you want to go into the state of Michigan's LARA, and that's the Licensing and Regulatory Affairs Department. So you come to the tab at, well, first, obviously, it's michigan.gov/SOM, which state of Michigan. You click the business tab, and you want to come down to, this is a cheat, search name availability. Well, you already know how your business is registered. If you're an active business, you know it. But what you may not know is the other entities that you're also associated with. So I'm going to type my own name, Laura Sigmund, into the individual search field. And what will happen is most of the agencies or organizations that I'm affiliated with will pop up on this thing. I own Best Practices Consulting Services. I'm a director for the Black United Fund. I design Carver Consulting Services. I'm a board member for CBA Formula. I'm a board member for Courageous. I'm a board member for Romulus Chamber. I'm a board member for Recreate. I'm the registered agent for TNM. Any of these agencies where you see my name that I have ownership or equity, I have to complete the actual BOI document. So for all intents and purposes, the only agency on here that I have 30% or more control or interest is Best Practices Consulting Services. You too should be doing the same thing while I'm walking through it. Remember, it is being recorded. I'll update it. But if you've not done this already, the intention for this workshop was to do it real time and actively. So I'm going to select Best Practices Consulting Services. I need to do that because I need a copy of it to upload into the BOI. So for time, I've already sort of like grabbed it. Where is it? I grabbed it. I made a copy of it so that I can make it as a PDF document and I can upload this to the BOI. So it tells them who the owner is. It tells them the name of the business, when it was when it was created with the state of Michigan. This is one of the documents that you will need. The other document that I'm not going to show you is my driver's license. You will be required to take a copy of both the front and the back of the driver's license. You will need to have on hand your EIN number to also complete the beneficial ownership information. So these are the documents that I need. If for some reason, just as due diligence, if for some reason these were businesses that I also had ownership or equity in, I'd be responsible for doing a BOI for each of them. Say, for instance, the Black United Fund, and it's not true. Say, for instance, the Black United Fund was an actual agency that I owned, and maybe it's not even operable anymore. I would want to, at the state level, submit the documentation to dissolve it so that I would not have any reporting responsibility to the IRS, meaning that it's no longer actively in motion. I'm not collecting any revenue. It's not waiting to be used for a future date. If you are not using and you've like done a couple things like, I'm going to hold this name, I'm going to go ahead and resurrect this business and I'll do all the back end later. you are actually legally required to report because you own it, even if it's not revenue generating. So be mindful of that. Any questions on that? So if you've got a whole bunch of names, if you held and you're holding them for some reason, go ahead, Mary.
So when I did my search on my name, which when I set up my LLC, had not changed my social security, the name on my social security. So it had my pre-married name. When I put in my name, it does not come up with my LLC. I can search the entity name and it comes up. So I did that and I was able to find it. When I do my now married name, the one that associates me is the same one that you and I are both on is the Greater Romulus Chamber of Commerce. That
And
was the only one that came up.
so
So
be mindful of that, guys. She's absolutely right. So before I was Laura Sigmund, I was Laura Chapman Brown, and I am actually registered somewhere else under another name. But those are, I'm no longer affiliated with those. So I did have to do a letter to the actual agency asking them to remove me. But if you know for a fact that you exist on some other entity, this is what you're searching for, but it does not make it 100% conclusive. I also own another business called Laura's Legacy. And as you can see, Laura's Legacy is not showing up. So I'm not sure why the state of Michigan is not compliant in that, but this is what they're able to report on. I can tell you that much. If you know, if Mary knows, if Eva knows, and Tony knows that you are affiliated or associated with other entities, every entity that you have any interest in, you need to report on it. And no matter the capacity, if it was a previous um, partnership, if it was under your maiden name, or whatever it is, they will expect that if you still have equity or interest in the document, in the entity, you will complete the document.
okay.
And you will need to justify Mary Colburn versus Mary Drewer. You'll have to tell them that. Go ahead.
Ah,
Yep. Go ahead, Eva.
because I had the opposite. I reverted to my maiden name. I found it underneath my married name,
Hmm.
but I reverted to my maiden name. So do
Yep.
I also need to put that in the paperwork that we're about to do? Is that what I'm understanding?
Let's look at it because I've not had it. I've had this new name for almost 17 years. It's not quite new, but
Yeah.
let's do it together and see where it gives us an option to make any clarification. When you take a screenshot of your driver's license, both front and back, if you are within that registration period where you do the name change and they put that little strip on the back saying that
Yeah.
you changed your name, right? When you've done all of the compliance pieces at the state level, at the Social Security level, on your personal side, they give you something to disclose your compliance. So let's discover it collectively. Let's see what that looks like. So you need this piece here in order to move forward. But remember, any other business, maybe you remember that you held a few other business names and they're not showing here. I happen to believe that the reason that my others are not showing up is because they're not in good standing. That's just food for thought. I've not done anything or done any annual reports on them. So the state of Michigan does not have an obligation to show that particular business record because they may be winding them down. I happen to have gotten an email from the state yesterday saying you're in jeopardy of losing these designations if you do not do this thing and that thing. So put that in the back of your mind. So the next thing we're going to do beyond having this, now I have a copy, right? I showed you that I actually pulled a copy. I have it as a PDF so that I can upload it. You also want to do that. Now you go on to the IRS's site. I've typed in www.fincin.gov, BOI. So I'm here and I'm not interested too much in the questions and answers. I want to go home. I've been coming here like every day, every single day to look for updates on things because I think it's necessary just to see what's going on. But they've not been all that forthcoming. As you can see on their site, they've not given us a whole lot of new information. But this tab here says file your report. Do I need to put the link to this? Can you guys get to this okay? I can put the link in the chat. I'll do that just for everybody copy it.
Okay, so I'm on the website. I missed how you got to that. The
I'm
link.
going to put the link directly in the chat so you can grab it. So here's the link, and then you'll be where I am. So right here at the very top, it says file your report now. So I'm going to click file your report. They give you a couple different things. Let's keep in mind that the report itself is a one and done. It is not an annual registration. It is not a quarterly. It's a one and done per document.
Oh, that's even better.
Okay. They've changed it even since last night when I looked at it in preparation for this workshop, which is interesting. So something is happening. And now they have it. Go ahead and just get started. I'm going to click this document. None of us need to do the Bank Secrecy Act reporting because we're not working on behest of anybody else. We're not a registered agent for anyone else. You're not controlling the treasury for anyone else. That's not something that you need to worry about. As the owner of your own entity, you go and do the beneficial ownership information. You're not the person on the back end for foreign entities or other government affairs. Don't even concern about that. Was there a question?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it says prepare the BOI. I told you the three things you need: front and back of your driver's license, the document that declares you as a valid business, right, at the state level, and then ultimately your EIN. Those are the three things that you will need in order to complete this workshop. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of phone calls all of a sudden. Hopefully they'll have to wait. I can't do this live and do this.
Mhm.
Let's see. So submit the BOI. I'm going to come right here and do this. You're entering this U.S. government information. It's telling you how they're going to do it. They may audit, on and on and on. You can sit cancel if you want. You won't make it any further if you do. So I agree. I am now on the Financial Crimes Enforcement Networks page, and that's the agency that's housing the actual BOI information. So go ahead and complete this. Your email address. I'm using a different email address because I did this. I did this back earlier in the year when it was just too much back and forth. I was getting whiplash and I wasn't sure what the downfall would be if I didn't do it correctly. And I can't afford to pay litigation.
Right.
I just did it. So you don't have to disclose to me, but that's not even an active website or email address that I put in there, but that's the only email address that they will communicate to and with for this entity that you actually put in. Do not do a dummy account. Do the account that you want to have a legitimate conversation with the IRS or the FinCEN agency. For purposes of this training, I'm putting in an old email address that I no longer really attend to, is not really monitored in that capacity. I'm using this just for training purposes. So Laura Sigmund, here's the email address, and then it says choose the document that you want to upload. I just showed you the document that I had that I saved.
Also,
Go ahead.
oh, so the Laura form that we say we can just upload that.
That's what they're looking for. That
Ah,
directly is what they want.
okay. So
Absolutely. Say again.
do I just take a screenshot of the Laura one?
So here's what I'm telling people. Let me cancel this real quick. So I came in, I found the corporate search. Let's see if it'll let me go back. So I come in. Can you see?
Yep.
So I went to best practices. I grabbed it, and then I did a right click. I did print, and I told
Yes.
the destination. I changed the print destination to a Microsoft PDF rather than a printer. I selected Microsoft Print PDF, said print. I'm not sure if these other screens are popping up so you can see it, but then I saved it as the BOI document for, I'm just going to title it training so I don't have it in duplication. So I saved it. It looks like it went to my pictures. Let me put it in documents. Save it.
Okay. And I
So
need to do that for both companies.
as many as, because you're going to have to do one registration for each entity.
Okay.
All right, so where am I? Right here? Nope. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Oh, please, Laura, say you didn't close it out. Okay, I didn't. All right, back to the BOI page. And so I'm gonna select from the folder
My notary company.
my BOI. I just saw it and passed it up that fast. BOI document for training. Put it in here. Waiting for it to acknowledge it. It shows the BOI document is attached. I certify that I am authorized on behalf of the reporting company. I am that person. I'm all that good stuff. So I click I agree. I am human. I am not going to click the submit BOI. Why? Because I've already done it. I can't duplicate it.
Oh, this is what the.
Select the image that best matches the theme of the samples. Kitchenware.
Yeah, this is so weird.
Yeah, the comprehension test. Laura, you failed it.
I have the same one and it's like, which one goes with it?
And I'm doing it live, Mary, like, wait a minute, like, what's going on? So I'm clicking stuff and nothing is happening. Like, what's going on?
I didn't like my PDF. Let me try a different one.
Select the image that best. Okay, so I selected the food. Am I supposed to select some of these? No, those don't activate. Is something else on here food? Because I see elephant, elephant.
The potato. You got to hit the potato. It's so
I,
super
I, I,
weird.
yeah, I did the potato, but it's not taking me any further.
I don't see anything else.
I need some more. I need some more smart people to come in on this because I
Yeah,
mean,
I have like leopards and a tree and elephants. The only thing that would
Yeah.
go with that is the potato is food. All right, and I hit next and then it says click it.
I don't see. Oh, you know what it is? I can't see next because it's hidden. That's what it is. Okay.
Verify. Okay.
Comprehension test. There we go. Potato. Maybe I took
So
too.
one of the things I noticed when I looked at my state of the Michigan document, it does say my new name. Where when I registered originally, it was but I have changed my last name with Social Security since then. So now it does show
So it's now caught up. Good
it's
job,
caught
state of
up.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I did change it with state of Michigan. Oh, I didn't do mine.
It says submission failure.
I got the same thing. Okay, so it's not just me. I'm like, it's the document is there, and it's a PDF.
So I'm gonna hit this submit BOI and see what happens. I'm sure I'm not supposed to, but let's see. Oh, I
I'm
got a
like,
failure
yours.
notice. An
Oh,
invalid PDF was attached. Please attach the appropriate. So I'm sure that's probably just because it's a duplicate. I'm not really sure, but you shouldn't see this. You should actually see the next screen, which is what is your name, your email address, your address, and your title in the company.
I
Anybody?
wonder if they're doing something in the system that's rejecting everything because they're doing updates.
yeah, it does say in light of the federal court order, reporting companies are not required to. So I wonder if that's what's stopping it. I do see that banner.
Mm,
Or was that up there before when you did it
it was.
last?
It was when I did it before. It was right there.
Okay.
You know what? Let me try incognito 1 second. Try on Edge. I'm gonna switch browsers and see what happens. Oh no,
So
forgot to
that
go.
I tried it again and
Did you guys get that same thing saying that you couldn't do it?
the mission failure, yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Here's a great thing that you can do if it won't let you. Let me stop sharing. I'm getting low system resources. My computer's acting a little crazy. I don't know what's up. So I'm gonna go off video real quick. Uh, Here's what I would do. I would take a screenshot of the notice that you got from the BOI registration. If you two are not able to do that, and then do it. Everybody knows how to do a screenshot. That's a control S. Get you a screenshot. The reason you want to do that is to be sure that you can show a timestamp of your intention to complete that BOI registration and it wouldn't accept it. You know, if that's the only way you can submit it, they can't hold you accountable or in breach if there's no way for you to actually execute it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you better keep it, right? Put it in your folder somewhere because
Mm-hmm.
there is no one for you to actually legitimately contact. The only other thing I would suggest is that you try it on a different browser because I tried it on Google Chrome. It might work better on Microsoft Edge, right? You might be able to do it in that actual browser because I very rarely use anything but Google.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do a screenshot. And so my screenshot will save me from the unwanted calamity of non-compliance, right? I will do the best I can to identify if there's a person or agency direct that we can send like some troubleshooting effort to let them know that you've attempted it. But your due diligence as the CEO and owner of your own space, when you've tried to comply and there's no method for compliance, they understand you being able to justify and explain that you weren't able to get through on it. I didn't have that problem last night when I did that, which is interesting. And I was able to actually file it on the 3rd, even though it was still in that quandary back and forth with whether or not it was going to be postponed, discontinued, or advanced. And I saw that notice and it still allowed me to complete it. So please do a screenshot. I am so sorry that we weren't able to complete it. I will keep all of you who registered abreast if I'm able to do it on Microsoft Edge. I will do one thing though. Let me share my screen. They have given a full video and they've done it exceptionally well, actually. So there's really no challenge with the way they've done it. And they made it a YouTube video, which automatically makes it one of those things you can stop and play and pause when you want to do it. Let me go back to the fencing. So they do have a government contact on here that you can actually, I'm going to grab the link to that, put that in the chat. Just for continuity and compliance, I would strongly suggest that you also put this, just go ahead and fill it out. Ask for your name, your email address, and what your problem is. And you can say, I attempted to complete the BOI registration and I got this message. So do that. But let me also show you where you can get the video on their site. I'm just going to grab the link to the video rather, so you don't have to keep going back and forth to the page.
I got it. I can drop it in.
Thank you, because I'm having some bandwidth challenges. Not sure why. Mary's gonna drop the link to the BOI in the chat she just did for the YouTube video. It's a 5-minute video completed by the IRS themselves. Use that
Perfect.
video. That is the tried and true proven method. But now you also have in the chat the link to let them know that you've had some trouble trying to get that completed. It doesn't look like they're giving you a direct person. They're telling you to tell them on the site that you're having challenges. I would also timestamp that when the submission goes through. The more proof you have, the less challenges you'll have for non-compliance.
Mhm.
I guess I get to give you the other half of your lunch hour back. But 3 things you need when it goes active is a copy of that PDF or the version of the capture of your state registered entity. For every entity, you'll need to do the BOI, a copy of your driver's license front and back, and then you must know your own EIN number. If you are using your social security number and you've not converted over to a IRS issue EIN, you will use that instead. Well, look, it's been great. Quite fond of having these lunch moments. Sorry we couldn't get it completed all together, but you've gotten all the hacks for the troubleshooting. So in any event you run into some challenges, you're now up to date.
Yep, perfect. Got it.
Excellent. Thank you guys, everyone. Happy
Thank
week.
you.
All
You
right.
too. You have a great one. Nice seeing you, Laura.
Seeing you all too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.